Um, hey, so I wanted to make a video for you because it gets me in the mindset, and maybe I can explain a little bit more about my designs without having to type uh, text. So you asked for things that would change that you think or that can like be adjusted or whatnot. For I'm assuming this is specifically just for music. And you didn't talk about this, sorry. We talked about the loop button a little bit briefly. So if we're thinking about it from the perspective, it's a really simple app so far, right? But if we think about it from the perspective of a person who is using this for music, I could imagine a couple of ways they could be using it. Either they're using it to listen to a specific song. What I think is more likely is to listen to like a playlist of songs by like artist or just like a genre of music. Listen to. Okay. Well, we'll say this song, right? So if we play this, I would want just to play music of this artist, just go through it. And if I wanted it to loop, I could click on the loop. I think that's good. I think an autoplay feature would be cool. Um, and maybe even a couple of buttons that generate different genres of music or specific artists or like top hits. Um, and then I think that would make it really feature complete, as if you had some suggestions that you could put in. And it could be a really simple implementation where you just search for the keyword that's in there. So there could be like like a genre section, and then a top hit section, and maybe that's it. And maybe that could be put down here at the bottom. The autoplay feature and the loop feature are the two things that I would expect probably from a music app. So probably those two things are the most important. Let's skip to like the end, and then if it was set, then the next song would play automatically. It's not doing that. It does have the loop feature here. Okay. I guess I could do a quick mock up of how I would do it, design wise, make a couple of adjustments, and let me show you that. And then I'll send you the Figma file with this also. So this is what we have right now. So you already have this pill shaped search bar at the top, which I think is fine. I think the spacing for the lettering is a little bit off. And there's this concept in design called optical alignment. And optical alignment is just very like is just what it sounds. It's lining things up optically. So if we look at the center of this, you see this blue line, a small blue line. The center of this does not seem to be the center of the text. Now, the text is probably centered, but it looks off because the line height is different. It is like set at a higher percentage. So you're going to have a little bit of empty space at the top. So what I would do is add a little bit more space at the bottom and keep the same spacing up top. That's one thing that I would suggest. The search icon does not seem to have that problem, which is good. Okay. Here, I would say, I think it looks fine. The only thing that I might change is not to have these items to be centered. I would rather have them, and I could do a quick example. I would have the field be up here instead of down here. Just so it's aligned with the top, and not super important. I could maybe see you making the case to have it center aligned. It would make it easier for it to be read from uh from like from the video, saying like this is clearly with the video. But I think you still get that, and this also gives you space to add more information at the bottom if you were wanting to add more information. Maybe, actually, no, you can't show that because I don't think YouTube provides that information through their API because it doesn't even show it on their website. Maybe views would be something that would be cool to have down here. I mean, that's pretty much it. And then you can queue this next one. I don't know how difficult autoplay would be to add, but I think that should be in there. And then I would change this to a button. I wouldn't have it as a checkbox. I would have it as a button, and then I would change it like the different states to be like indicative of what is going on at the moment. And now to add in the autoplay, and then I would just give this a little bit more space, and I would also keep this aligned. If you see down here, I would keep this aligned with the video player also. Just because it looks a little weird to have the video player be smaller than the text. So these are the changes that I would make to the app if we're thinking about it from a music listener's point of view. Let's make those changes and see what it looks like. I'll use the same black that you used. Oh, you use pure black. Okay. Is that also pure white? Let's check it out. That seems like pure white. Could be slightly off. Nope, that's pure white. Okay. I would not put black on white. I did notice that, but I was like, I'm not sure if it is. It is really bright. It is really contrasty. I would not do this. So Apple actually developed a system for opacity percentages that you would want on a pure black background with a pure white. So you actually don't have to change it from pure white. You could keep it pure white, but you would just turn down the opacity on it. And the opacity goes in different steps. It goes into 3 steps. This is straight from the human centered guidelines from Apple. So the percentages go from this, which is 87, then 54, and then 34. And they did the math for everything. I don't know. I don't know how they got these numbers, but Apple got these numbers. So it's I follow this pretty strictly whenever I'm going on pure white and black, because you don't want it to be too bright. And even if you look on Apple's website, you will find these hex colors, and I'll put the hex colors down here to show you. So these are the hex codes for each of them, and you might be wondering, is it better to use the hex code or is it better to use pure white and then turn down the opacity? I think most people would default to just using the hex code because it makes it simpler. You don't have to add in this extra property, but there is a benefit to using the opacity, is if you're going to use a different color and have that as the color underneath, right? We'll grab this one and we'll change it to something like red. Let me pull this up. So if we move this under, you can see that this color is not a gray color anymore. It is a light red color. This color is also a lighter red color. It's almost pink, or I guess it is pink. And then this color is also pink. So with these, the colors like adjust to the background. But with these, you don't get that. This is just pure white. This is just pure grayscale. So that is the advantage of having pure white with lower opacity on all of them. And I'll keep this over here, color demonstration. So let's get this, and then we'll actually design your site to be more in line. I don't know what fonts you used, but we could check that out. Poppins. It looked really familiar, but I was like, it's not Roboto, but I've definitely seen this font somewhere. Could talk about X Hike, but I don't know if you're gonna be interested in that, so maybe not. Um, I like Roboto just because Roboto is a really simple, it's really versatile. It can be used everywhere. I guess that's what versatile means, but that is my preferred way of doing things. Let me get rid of this. Don't like that. Okay, so I didn't spend much time on this, and there is probably one thing that I would change about it is that I probably wouldn't make these really colorful. Just because, if somebody's listening to music, they probably just want to listen to the music. But I think this is a better look for the design. Uh, I don't know how much bigger I made it, but this is, you know, I think it's fine. You have this here. I did something for you that I usually don't do, which is I made a little interactive thing here. And if you hover over and then you click, it changes. Ooh, fancy. Uh, really interactive. Um, but yeah, there you go. That's how I would do it. I would say you don't even need to put labels on them as long as they're really clear that they're buttons. And I think that those are clear that they are buttons. And I mean, yeah, that's it. Probably if I were to change these, I would probably change these all to, I'll move them down here with the same text. I'd probably change these all to like something. Yeah, that could be interesting where you could have something like this. Um, so it's more subtle. And just change these to black. I'll do that for you too. Sure, why not? Or no, keep it that way. Sorry, keep it that way. Probably something like that, maybe. Just to make it more subtle, so it's not really visually, intrusive, like in the way. I think that would look cool, and probably raise it up a little bit. Not too much, just because this is still the main stage. This is still the thing that you want. But I think if you do this, I don't know, look like a pretty cool first project. Uh, Pretty cool portfolio project to put on your site. Yeah, I think it looks good. That's it.